Hi, my name is Karis, and I'm a Grace Speedrunner. Welcome to the ultimate Grace Speedrunning guide. If you're looking to do the things you've seen in the intro, then this is the video for you. I'll put the different techs we're going to learn in chapters, so you can just skip to whatever you need to help with the most. Without further ado, let's get into the first tech, Trimping. Alright, so Trimping. We've already learned about this in my previous speedrun guide, but this is supposed to be a comprehensive speedrun guide for the new update, so we're gonna go over it again. When you slide, you can either hold sprint or not hold sprint. This is vital to our to the technique called Trimping. If you, let's try this lamp, for example. If you try to slide into it while holding sprint, nothing really happens, you see? Kind of just go into it. However, if you don't hold sprint, for some reason, it just careens you up like that. And sometimes, if I can do it right, give me a few seconds, it brings you all the way up here, which is where you can actually get the crown. How you get the crown? Well, you have to go through 20,000 doors in a single run. This is how you get the crown. Costs 100 keys, and that's how you get it, by trimping up here. Usually in game, you would have to like jump into a ledge or something. You can't just like slide directly into it. However, there is another kind of trimping. You can do it off these ramps here, or stairs, whatever. Yeah, all you have to do is slide into them and slowly go over there, like going like this and like boom. You just slide into it and it careens you upward. That wasn't high enough, so I'm just gonna go with this again to show you. You can also be done up here. Like, for example, this. You're on a ramp, but going onto straight ground. You can just slide into this part and go flying upward. This is very useful for, like, lever rooms and things. You may recall that when in my last speedrun guide, you would slide into this barrel to give yourself a boost and jump over everything, you know? Unfortunately, that no longer works. It's sad. However, there is a way you can get a good start only with traits, but I'm going to show you later. And you may also recall that in this room you could also jump by going like this. You cannot. I retract my previous statement. You can. Alright, so apparently it's really hard to do. As you see, I am not getting it consistently. Totally not. I am never getting it consistently in my speedruns for all my life. This has been basically impossible for me, and it would probably be impossible for you. I am totally not making it almost every single time. What the fuck is happening? Okay, yes, you can jump off this still, I guess. I didn't know that. Anyway, yeah, you can just jump off that and do it, but if you find... But you can just jump off that and go ham. But if you're having trouble, I just suggest going on here and going from there. Anyway, these, you can still jump off these, just good old jump into the ledge. You slide, stop holding shift, and then jump directly into this gray thing here. Just like boink. And you're all the way above, and it automatically opens a thing for you, and you don't even have to go through the door. These, can you jump off these still? You can. Alright. I'm learning new things with you guys. Anyway, yeah, this is one of the lever rooms I was talking about where you can just boom and there. You can just like go on this straight part from the stairs just by sliding into this part and going upward. Very useful. Although this would be quicker, it is also a lot less consistent. Go fuck off. And you can also trim off these safe room doors by going like this. Just slide into them. Kind of, that's the only thing that you do, just kind of slide into. I mean, you could go like that, but you find better results like this. Just slide into it. Easy peasy. And in these obstacle courses, you see these ledges, you can also trimp off these, just like that. You can go above everything. Anyway, yeah, so stuff like this. Trimp. Stuff like that. Easy peasy. Now here's the second part to this, and this is where you really go fast. This is called darting. What you do is you run. This is a perfect place to do it, actually. What you do is you run, you wall kick, and then as you wall kick, you slide immediately after. It'll look like I'm doing it at the same time, but if I slow it down, you'll see that it does. I do it immediately after. So what you do, slide at basically the same time as you wall kick, just a little after, and you go flying. This is called darting, and it turns all your vertical momentum into horizontal momentum. So if you just like did it at the at the peak of your jump, you just go fast. You go fast. I'm not saying you go slow, but it's not as good as it could be. However, if you trimp, let me just trimp right here, let yourself fall, you go flying. Look at that. Just like trimp off of here, dart, dart. Like, see how good that is? Hold on. But yeah, darting, just like, you go crazy amounts of speed with this. Of course you're not going to be darting this well when you first start out, hopefully. I just spawned 2 carnations. Zen is also a really good place to learn how to dart because you have infinite wall kicks here. So you can just dart, dart, and I messed up there, but you can just dart, dart, and just fly as you please. Just dart over and over. And try to get as much speed with it. It's pretty fun. Bee hopping. Bee hopping. That was a thing in the last update, but it's a lot easier to now, surprisingly. So all you have to do is land on a wall. That's it. I'm gonna take off my crampons real quick. So right now I am completely traitless. So I only have 2 wall kicks. Can't do any more. So basically what you want to do is just land on top of a wall. I know it's not actually bee hopping, but still. But yeah, it completely refills your wall kicks. So every time you bee hop, why am I unable to trimp off these now? I told you. Oh, I told you. So dart, dart. It didn't give me back my wall kicks. I hate it when it does that. Yeah. So just trimp, dart, land, dart, dart. I didn't land. Here, let's do a round with it. Anyway. Dart, I bee hop. I just dart and hit the wall. See how I had 3 wall kicks that time? That's because I hit the wall. See how easy that is? Of course, I have been speedrunning for a long time. So, of course, I would know how to bee hop that well. So it's probably going to take some practice for you, but eventually you'll be able to get it. Anyway, how you know if you bee hop correctly? let's just wait for this carnation to go by. So how do you know if you b-hop correctly? So basically, every time you touch the top of a wall, see how you hear the landing noise, like that. You didn't hear it there. Land. And when you don't hear the landing noise, you know your darts have not been refilled. So, landing noise, no landing noise, landing noise, no landing noise, landing noise, landing noise. It can be inconsistent sometimes. Don't ask me why. I don't know why I said it was easier. B-hop, 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 technically. You get the drift, hopefully. I don't really... Yeah, I'm just not... But yeah, that's probably it for darting, and we should probably move on to the next one, which will be parrying. Not reprieve parrying, but, you know, hold on, I'll show you. Parrying. Now, as I said, this is not, like, reprieve parrying. You can't just, like... You can't just go, like... Yeah, that isn't what you do. Instead, what you do is something else entirely. You slide backwards into a wall. That's all, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not all. You do have to go into your settings and turn off camera headlocks. That will allow you to, when you slide backwards, so when you slide into the wall, your camera clips into the wall, see? I think that's what protects you. I'm not exactly sure. But hey, turning camera headlock makes it work, so yeah, just do that. So yeah, just slide backwards into the wall, like that. Just aim your camera directly at the other side of the wall, and try not to move left or right, and you should survive. They made it a lot more lenient this update, so like, last update, it was pretty hard. It was pretty hard to parry. Still, like, you can get it consistently if you do it right, but still hard. This one is a lot more lenient. And the next update, they're gonna get rid of it entirely. So yeah, it'll be completely irrelevant next update. Yippee! Anyway, here, let me show you how it works. What you do is you just go past the hiding spot. You don't have to, but then boom, just passes right on by. Just go. It can be any room with like a straight wall. All you have to do is slide backwards, just passes on by. It doesn't even care. So as I said, any room. So even on stairs now, you can just... Ow. So even on stairs, you can do it. And yeah. Now there's another type of parrying, if you can't get that one down for some reason. And I showed it in my other video. It's called matering, or lever parrying. You can just put your head in here, and you're safe from carnation. They're also removing that next update. Anyway, let's see. I have the make carnation faster modifier on, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I made it. Still works. Anyway, that's literally it for parrying. I have no other advice to give. Just do that. Or do that. And that about wraps it up for our speedrun techs. We've learned parrying, we've learned darting, and we've learned trimping. Those are the 3 core speedrun techs you will use in speedrunning. there is one more I am gonna teach you, but that relates with a trait, so we're gonna do it in the next section. Now there might be like 1 or 2 more speedrun techs, but either I don't know them or they're being gatekept. So, sorry. Anyway, let's go into the next section. Traits. Traits. These are a new addition from the Spread the Love update, and they heavily impact speedrunning. There's even a trait list and a trait full category for them. Most of the traits we're not really gonna use, but there are some that make speedrunning absolutely overpowered. The traits most widely used by the speedrunning community are Honk. I'm just kidding, that one is terrible. The most used traits in speedruns are 10-point crampons, goober cookie, teddy teddy, and rosary ring. I'll get into this in a second, but this thing is overpowered, and I'll show you why in just a second. So, teddy teddy. While in the air, Slight and Heed are frozen in place, which is amazing for speedruns if you're in the air a lot of the time. Like, if you dart over and over, that's great. If you're great at bhopping, you won't get hit by Slight or Heed at all with this trait, if you have fast reflexes while you're on the ground. 10-point crampons give you 4 wall kicks. That is incredible for speedruns, because you have to bhop less, and you just fly way more. And it says you're weighed down by a punch. That, honestly, you're not weighed down by that much to where you're weighed down, certainly. It prevents some trimps, but it's not enough to, there's more positive than negative here. You have the goober cookie, which, any door open gives everybody any door open gives everybody a speed boost, a very small one. Thank you. Any door open gives everybody a small speed boost, which passive speed is always great. Then rosary ring. Every 10th crouch gives everyone a strong speed boost. And it is so powerful. I'm gonna go over all of them except for Goober Cookie because, you know, it's passive speed. It's self-explanatory. And Teddy Teddy, also self-explanatory. So crampons and rosary ring. Let's try it out. So with crampons, 4 wall kicks, as I said, insane. You're weighed down by a lip. But you're weighed down by a bunch. You can't, when you slide into a wall, you can't fly up with an item equipped, but you can do it without one. Now, you'll recall me saying that in the previous update, this barrel was solid, and when you slid into it, you could, like, boost all the way up and start darting. Crazy. Anyway, yeah, you can't do that anymore. As I said, it's movable now, unfortunately. However, with crampons, you can easily just ignore that. However, with crampons, you can just, like, boing, and boom, your run is started. You go crazy fast. And, like, see, the 4 wall kicks gives such a big difference. It's such a big difference. You go flying even further than before. Just dart, 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 dart. And it's, you don't even need to bhop for a bit. It's so fucking overpowered. There is one problem with crampons, and that is if you're trying to parry Carnation, this might happen. Actually, I survived that somehow. But, yeah, you might bump up and get caught in the air and die. And Rosary Ring. if you spam crouch, as you see I have M1 and control binded to crouch, just spam it a bunch, heart will start to fill up, and you go insanely fast. Watch this. Yeah, I forgot I did a command, hold on. See, we made it to the end already. That was so fast, right? It was like 3 seconds. Anyway, no, I just did a command to get to the safe room 3 real quick. Anyway, look how fast that is. You just go so. Mixed with crampons, this thing is like overpowered. It is the most insane thing ever. This is like, it's so broken. You just spam it a bunch. Don't do it in the middle of runs. Do it when you're in like a hiding spot or something. But you just go flying. And oh my god, that voice crack. And it's like you can go flying with darting, but like usually not this fast. If you're good at the game, you can. But like this, you can skip every carnation in the thing, like in the safe room. Not to say you couldn't do that traitless. If you're good enough, you can. But it's so much easier to. I could probably get like 8 or 9 carnations on my tail. I might go try that actually sometime, not on camera. Hell, I've caught up to slugfish and spawned 2 slugfishes with this. It's insane. Now, you may recall how I mentioned that there was a tech with the rosary ring that I haven't taught you yet. And that is people still call it corner clipping, but it's not really corner clipping. You're not clipping in a corner. So I just like to call it rosary clipping, or literally it's just normal clipping, because just clip. Anyway, you maybe notice that I'm using an auto clicker. That's because it's only really possible with auto clickers and drag clicking. So you see how I'm going really fast now? If I start running, you see how I just like boost across the thing. It is insane. This speed is uncontrollable. Well, I mean, it is controllable, but like you can't stop yourself from clipping. So what you do is you turn backwards, which I don't know why it helps, but immediately out of the safe room. See that? Out of there. The door isn't even open. It will never open. Do make note that you cannot get, and look how fast I'm going with an auto clicker doing that. Just hide in the safe room real quick so I can charge this up real quick. Alright. And then just charge this up real quick. Up. It's insane. I'm on the roof now. That's not, I wasn't like saying that as like a surprise. I was saying that, I don't know why my tones sound like that. It's insane. You just go flying. God, I sound so autistic, which isn't like wrong, but still. But really that kind of wraps it up for traits. Oh my god. See? 2 slugfish. I'm dead, but you saw that. 2 slugfishes. Crazy. Anyway, that kind of wraps it up for traits. I am going to tell you that trait lists, there's 2 categories, traitful and traitless. One where you don't use traits. What I recommend is Doombringer for traitless. And you need a lantern. So Doombringer, a lantern or a flashlight, either one works. And gun. Or gun. You don't need a gun. But if you're a master at multitasking, you can, like, I guess, shoot stuff off. You can shoot stuff while you're going, so it gives you a speed boost with each shot. However, it does make you a bit slower, not because your speed is any less, but because you're multitasking. And it's kind of hard to see. Except for that. And when you're in hiding spots, you can just, like, shoot an orb from there, and it's really nice. Anyway, Joey, shut up! Joey, because, the heart fills up every time he closes his mouth. So it's like, you just get it every time he screams. You just get, love. So yeah, as you're darting, you'll scream, you'll shut him up, and boom, instant speed boost. And it stacks with each person. So, yeah. Now for tips and tricks. That is all the speedrun text and trait stuff. Now it's just like miscellaneous stuff like tips, tricks, and stuff. First off, we're gonna start with keybinds. So in your settings, you know, blah, 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 set this up. Shift. My keybinds are my crouch keybind in general is kind of strange, apparently, for the speedrunning community. Oh yeah, also turn sprint toggle off, that shit sucks. Most speedrunners use M1 for crouch. I use M1 for crouch because sometimes I need to, like, spam crouch a bit right before I dart. Spam slide a bit. But mostly I use left control, even when, like, spamming slide. Well, sometimes I try to do M1 because it kind of hurts to do it. I don't even press control with a finger. Anyway, I set mine to M2, my use item to M2 because, you know, one of them is set to M1. Use item special as F for one of them. Because in Reprieve, this is also used as a parry keybind along with use items. I use F for use item special because I have an ultra kill addiction, and F is and you can parry and reprieve, and this is also a keybind for parrying and reprieve. But yeah, basically that, but just you don't have to do much with the keybind. Just like set your crouch to M1. That's what all the pros do. And other settings. If you have, this is obvious, but if you have trouble with like performance, like your game is laggy or something, turn on propless. Gets rid of the props. Then you have bit the rate. Disable this. The static that appears right as Carnation spawns or right as Slugfish spawns can get a bit annoying. So bit the rate eliminates the harm from that, and just, you know, it just makes it less hard to deal with. You have speedrun timer. You want to turn that on because, you know, you're speedrunning. Speed lines. You don't have to, but I like to turn this off because it gives more clarity and, like, you can hear better. Camera tilting. I mean, Rat uses it, like one of the best speedrunners in the game. But I don't know. I just get, like, look at this. It's not really sickening for me, but like, you really want this to be what you see in a speedrun? Yeah, I don't really recommend having that on. Visible limbs, you're gonna want that off. I usually have that off because it, you know, the limbs get in the way, and this just makes them invisible. You want to turn off camera headlock, of course, for parrying, and you want to turn off camera sprint bobbing. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, it's not that much. What? No, you don't have to turn off camera sprint bobbing. You know what? That's completely optional. It literally doesn't do that much at all. You want to turn skip retry countdown, because it's annoying to wait for that countdown every single time you die, and everyone else dies. And yeah, that's basically it for settings. Let's go on to animations. Animations, you know, these things. Idle, doesn't matter. Use whatever idle you want. Walk, doesn't matter. Use whatever walk you want. I don't think it really affects runs. I don't think runs affect runs too either. There might be one that's better. I'm not sure. You're gonna have to ask, like, people who know more than me for that. Crouch. I don't recommend peace, not because for runs, but because whenever you show it to somebody else, it just looks like this, but, well, without the head turning, and you don't have the glowing thing. But that's not really a speedrun thing. If you're going to Mater, like, if you're going to lever parry, I do recommend either of the defaults, not Psycho. Peace is fine. Sassy, and that's about it. Maybe fold. And or slide animations. Any front-facing animation will do. Like in Fruits of March, when you parried with a head-first animation, it was a lot less consistent, and you would die a lot more, and it wasn't good for speedruns. Laid back was a good way to go. However, it triggered carnation every time you bumped your head into a every time you bumped your head into a carnation trigger accidentally. Anyway, things have changed. You can parry pretty well with any animation. But the head last animations, that's the best way I can describe them, like laid back or default, they don't work as, they still trigger carnation, so I don't recommend having them on. You can use this, all the slides that work are blue, skate, sassy, not Psycho Riffraff, maybe Psycho Riffraff, I don't know. Spark Slinger works. Roly Poly technically works, but I'm not sure why you would want to do that. Fist or Falcon Fist works. Xano is Xano. Xano is blue, so it works. Belly Slide, the GOAT, the OG, the Tints of Rose, meta. Topple, this thing is totally meta. Or Drift King. This one works too. Perfectly fine. I also forgot to mention, the running style meta is Tumble. Also, Tumble is totally meta. If you don't agree with me, then get out! I'm kidding, you can use any style you want. Don't worry about it. When you reach one of these split path rooms, usually you would like trimp on it. I can't trimp on it anymore for some reason. Like, it's very... Whenever I'm recording. See? It's gone now. I can't. Anyway, when I reach one of these split path rooms, since trimping is so inconsistent for me, I said you can like go on top of it and like just dart from there. But you could also like dart into the ledge, like just dart into the ledge, and it'll boost you up without you having to lose any speed. So you can just boink, boink, and yeah, just have to do that and that. Now you may find yourself stuck on the ground in a lever room like this, where you can't trimp over it, and there won't be a trimping space behind. There is a trimping space behind me, but yeah. The best way to deal with this is to wall kick off of this specific wall first. Wall kick here, there, and then you should have one more wall kick to go across. This can only be done with crampons, so there is a way to do it with only 2 wall kicks for traitless. I have no idea how to do that though. So you just teleport, I guess. No, but in reality, I don't know what happened there, but you can just do, you just doink, 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 doink. Just doink, 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 doink. And over the wall you go. Yeah, just like that. There's also, now, running normally isn't really fast, so when you're stuck on the ground, you can't find anywhere to trimp or dart and stuff, which isn't that often now. You can spam slide like this. Of course, you want to slide down stairs, as always, because slide down slopes and stairs, like this, because it'll make it go faster. See? Faster. But if you can't even find any stairs, just like spam slide really fast. That's why it's better to put your control button, put your slide button to M1. So you can just do this. It doesn't make you too much faster. You can barely notice it, but it does make you a bit faster. Zen is Zen. It's pretty simple. You have infinite wall kicks, so it's pretty easy to speedrun. There's not really any tips or tricks I can give you. However, as I said earlier, you can like spam slide for just a second to speed you up. And yeah, that's about it. Occasionally your hand will probably hurt because you're darting for way too long. What I recommend is just going down. You won't slow down that much, and just giving your hand just quick cooldown until you can start darting again, which usually takes about 5-10 seconds for me. So I just dart, keep on darting until my hand gets tired. Then I just don't dart for a bit, like only dart occasionally, I guess. And usually it just carries me over anyway. Zen is so forgiving. But yeah, that's about it. It's Zen. In Reprieve, it's pretty normal. It's like main, except you're not going a specific way and you're trying to get to the beacons, the dark fountains. And so, not much changes here, except for the fact that you can slide bounce, which is cool. Slide bounce, just slide into a wall, and if you're having trouble, probably like while sliding into a wall, probably like let go and it'll do it. Also, the faster you are heading down, the more speed you'll get when you do bounce. So like, see how I got ultra slide bounce? I'm now sliding faster. While if I do a normal one, I don't go that fast. And that also means if you start around from way up top and you spam slide, you just atom bomb and you go absolutely flying. However, I do recommend darting to start off rather than getting the atom bomb style bonus, because it's much faster. Watch this. Just spam slide, dart, nuclear missile, absolutely insane speed. So yeah, that's basically it for Reprieve. I can't think of anything else, and that's about it for speedrunning. Now you can go and start speedrunning, like going really fast, or you could speed blitz everyone in your lobby, whichever is your choice. Anyway, if you've already been speedrunning, and you're trying to aim for a certain time, like a certain goalpost, like a sub 4, sub 3, you know, stuff like that, there are certain time splits you should get, and my friend here, Gert, has made a guide on what you should get. So, here's Gert.
Hello, my name is Gertrude, and today I'll be going over splits. Thank you to Karis for giving me the opportunity to talk about them. Let's get back on track. Splits. What are they? Splits are what speedrunners need to hit said goals, like for a sub 5, a sub 4, a sub 3, and a sub 2. At the moment, a sub 1 is not possible without tasks, but it will be possible in the near future. I'll leave it to my future self to help you guys out. Bye! Hello, this is Gertrude once again. So, to get these splits, you're gonna need a sub 5. So, the times you're gonna need for a sub 5 are a 17 second to a 25 second safe from 0, a 45 second to a 55 second safe from 1, and a 135 to a 145 safe from 2. For safe from 3, you're going to need 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 2:45. And for safe from 4, 3 minutes to a 3:40. And you should hit a 4:30 or even lower if you're fast enough. For sub 4, you're going to need a 15 second safe from 0 to a 34 second to a 50 second safe from 1. A 1 minute and 20 second to a 135 safe from 2. You could go higher to a 140. But people aren't really trying to risk that for real. For safe from 2, you're gonna need a 150 to a 215. Usually I get like a 220 and I'm still able to hit it, but that's just luck, to be honest with you. For safe from 4, you're gonna need a 245 to a 310. Usually I try and aim lower to like a 305 or something like that. But that's it for splits. Hope you guys have a nice day.
And that's everything. I've taught you all the speedrun tech, what traits to use, tips and tricks, etc. And Gert has taught you the time splits. You're now ready to go speedrun. If you're still having trouble with something specific, I'm also occasionally in the Grace Speedrunning server VC. If you pop in and ask, and if I'm not busy, I'll be happy to help. I'll put the link in the description to the Grace Speedrunning server. Thanks for watching, and Godspeed.